Hi everyone, I'm Kisha, your host of Beauty and the Wise, the ultimate lifestyle and wellness podcast where we empower women to redefine the narrative around aging gracefully, or whatever you call it. Aging gracefully, aging healthy, pro-aging, even anti-aging. We are going to redefine it all. We will provide tools and tips so that you can embrace topics ranging from hormonal health to nutrition and wellness, sexual wellness, personal development, even beauty tips that you should be considering at any age. Nothing is off limits. Together, we are going to encourage each other to advocate for our own health and wellness. At Beauty and the Wise, we are going to celebrate the lifelines, cherish and honor our hormones, and we're going to do it all while looking fabulous. So let's dive in. In our first episode, I want to share my story and tell you about how my wellness and hormonal journey is going. But first, I have a couple of disclaimers. One, I actually don't like showing up on camera, so I'm being very vulnerable right now and doing this. But I'm doing it because I want to be able to inspire someone to kind of take their health and wellness journey seriously and figure out how they can advocate for themselves. Two, we are definitely going to cover a lot of topics, and I am by no means an expert. I did recently graduate from the Institute of Integrative Nutrition and get a health coaching certificate. However, I still have so much more to learn. And three, while some of you may be thinking, what does she know about life over 40? I actually am 46 years old and I am in menopause. Yes, you heard that absolutely correct. Not perimenopause, menopause. So this is where my story begins. So as I mentioned, as a way to share my story, I wanted to use maybe 4 talking points to kind of guide us through this about things that I wish I knew or at least thought about earlier in life when it comes to getting older. As women, our bodies are constantly going through some hormonal phase, whether it's puberty or pregnancy if you so choose, to perimenopause, to menopause, and postmenopause. Our bodies are going through something. For me, like I said, I'm 46. And I know when I say that I'm 46 and I'm in menopause, I see people trying to calculate it in their head, like they're doing the math. Like, what is this girl talking about? They tell you that you can be going through perimenopause for at least 10 to 8 years. So yes, that means I was going through this when I was in my 30s, which brings me to my first point. I wish people would talk more about what your body goes through as you go through these different hormonal phases. I was going through perimenopause and I had no clue. And if I am absolutely honest with you, it was hell. I mean, I was experiencing anxiety, sleeplessness. I was so tired. I had mood swings that were absolutely insane. I was having hot flashes, cold flashes, night sweats. I mean, I was going through it all and nobody could tell me what was happening. I definitely recall going to the doctor and explaining that I'm going through this and everyone just telling me, no, you are too young for menopause. Which brings me to point number 2 of the things I wish I knew earlier in life was you have to listen to your body and trust it. I knew what I was going through. And yes, while life was stressful, I mean, how could you tell someone in their 30s who had regular cycles, who all of a sudden in a very short span went from, let's say, 28-day cycles every month on a regular to maybe 3 times a year? I was in this constant state of being on edge. I mean, I was buying pregnancy tests like they were bags of chips because I had no idea what was going on. But again, I kept going to the doctor and they kept telling me, you're too young for menopause. It's not menopause. Nobody ever talked to me about perimenopause. So this brings me to my next point. Again, I'm in my 30s, moving into my 40s. I can't even tell you the last time I even had a cycle or a period. I would go to the doctor and they would say, what was the date of your last cycle? And I would simply just say, I have no idea. What did I tell you last year when you asked me the same question? I was not having any sort of comfort and any sort of advice that could guide me through this. The books say now, 12 months, no period, you're in menopause. Well, my body, I swear, I was getting my cycle on the 28th day of the 11th month. So I was still in that you're not in menopause yet phase. And this was driving me insane because, like I said, I'm experiencing all of this stuff, but nobody was telling me it was perimenopause. I just was told you're too young for menopause, and that was it. So the other point is society will have you thinking that menopause or getting older is supposed to look a certain way. It doesn't. I'm 46. This is what menopause looks like. Yes, I go through mood swings. I experience stuff. So imagine, like I said, keep up with me here. In my 30s, I'm going through all of this. In my 40s, I'm not having a period. None of my friends were going through this. Nobody could help me out until finally one of my close friends said, go and see this doctor. She focuses on functional medicine. I said, great. This makes absolute sense to me because we're multidimensional beings. So if we're going to look at anything that's going on with our bodies, we should look at it from an holistic approach. Now, she was an absolute godsend. I sat down with her. We talked about my symptoms. We talked about everything that was going on with my body. We did blood work. We did tests. And over a course of a couple of years, we were literally just testing everything, tweaking, trying to figure out how I can manage this. She helped me monitor my sleep patterns. She sent me to a nutritionist because, again, I was gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight again. So we looked at every aspect of my life, and she helped me figure out how I can manage this and how I can support my body, which I was still thinking I can do things and eat foods that I ate 20 years ago and nothing would happen. No, I needed to start again and embrace the fact that I was getting older, things changed, and I needed to figure out how to manage them. Which brings me to my last point, was getting older actually isn't that bad. Again, people think, oh, you're over the hill, or oh, you're an old lady. It's actually a privilege to age. So if you're blessed to see another day, why not age well? And in doing that, it absolutely means you have to embrace the fact that, one, you are getting older, but two, your health and well-being looks completely different than what it looked like years ago. For me, career-driven woman, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a friend. The list goes on. We have so many roles and responsibilities that we are managing. And so, yes, while self-care and self-wellness is important to me, I can forget sometimes to implement and incorporate these different things. Yes, we can all create the habits, but we're human. And so giving yourself grace, taking the time and being kind to your body is all that matters. And you kind of realize that as you get older. This is where we're at. I'm 46 and I am in menopause. Trust me, I'm not going to say it's a walk in the park, but like I said earlier, perimenopause was absolute hell for me because I had no idea what I was going through. Whereas menopause, I have the support. I'm able to manage it and I can react differently. The other day I ran out of estrogen. We can have a complete episode in regards to that. But at least I can identify when my body is out of sync. So this is what Beauty and the Wise is all about. It's about redefining what getting older looks like for you, whatever you want to call it. For me, aging fabulously, aging gracefully. It's all about what works for me. And I want to be able to share tools and tips, bring my friends on, bring experts on, so that we can do this together. Thanks again for joining me. I am your host, Kisha of Beauty and the Wise. If you want to find out more, you can check us out at inzuriwellness.com as well as on social media. And for our next and future episodes, I would love to hear what you want to talk about. Like I said, we're going to cover all the topics that you could possibly imagine, especially from a lens of what it looks like getting older. So I want to hear from you. Drop me a line. Tell me what you want to know, what answers you're looking for. Visit the website, inzuriwellness.com, and check us out on social media. Thank you.